Alright, so lap guide for Deep Forest. In the Hurricane. How to run 32's. Okay, so start of the lap at the hairpin. Brake at the 100 board. Right tires on this curb. And brake completely straight. Completely straight. Do not start turning here. Do not start turning here. Do not start fucking turning ever. Okay, just don't start turning. Okay, I want you to slow the fucking car down till you get to about here. Alright? And I want you to make sure the car's slowed down so that when you turn the wheel, the thing just rolls. And when you turn it, it responds. It doesn't fucking understeer. Never understeer through this corner. Because when you get to right about here, you're just going to go straight. You want to slow the car down, let it roll in, so that when you get on the throttle right about here, it wants to just accelerate out nice and smoothly in first gear with like minimal understeer. You don't want to have to lift. Alright, so brake straight. Still straight. My wheel is dead straight. Look at the red dot. It's dead fucking straight. Still dead straight. Right? I'm starting to turn a couple degrees. I'm still not turning a lot. People come in here and they're already turning like 45 degrees. Nice and slow. Just gently. I'm still full braking. The car is not slowed down yet. So I do not give it any more steering than what I have until I start coming off the brakes. Alright, still braking straight. Still braking straight. I want to bring the car as slow as possible before I start turning. Alright, I get into first, I start trail braking. I start trail braking. I get down to like 75% brake. We're still doing 82 kilometers an hour. So we need to still slow down a little bit more. Keep trail braking in. Leaning into my steering. Right? And then I just slowly come off the brakes. Nice and slow. And then I have a nice straight exit line for the corner. Alright, so track limits. You can go and split this curb as long as you keep your left tire to the inside of this white line. Alright, technically you can cut this and put your right-hand tires on this inside curb. And then on the exit, you put your left tires on this curb, but don't go over the edge of this curb right here onto the green. Alright, so right before the bottom of this hill, I shift up to 6th gear. And I try to get to like 221, 222 kilometers an hour in this little kink of 2 left-hand turns. Alright, 222. It's nice and smooth, stay tight. Right, I stay tight. Also, and I'll show you some more track limits. Okay, go on this curb to the right. Cut this to the left. Go straight through here. Just keep your right tire to the right side of this line. Same thing when you're going in the pit. If you're going in the pit, you don't need to come over here. This doesn't matter. You can just put your right tire to the right side of this white line, all the way down here if you want. And then drive straight into the pit. I just do that to like shave off milliseconds. Right? And then I'm tighter here. I'm tighter to the inside. Lined up for the inside more. the weight's more center. So the reason why people are scrubbing off speed coming down here is because we're already doing 200 kilometers an hour, right? So if you try to make any hard G load from the center of the car, that's going to slow the car down and give it resistance as you're turning through this corner, right? So the more centered you can keep the weight coming through here, the better. All right, turn one. Brake at the 100 board, just before it. Brake in a straight line, down to 4th gear. Start trail braking. Let the revs come down. Go down to 3rd. Keep trail braking. Roll the car in. Roll it in. Nice and smooth. Get down to 2nd. All right, let the car rotate. If we're on softs and you're doing like 5 laps, 6 lap stints, whoever has better tire wear is going to thrive. So whoever can run consistent 32's the entire race, that's who's going to win, right? Or 31's. But basically, when you come in here wide and you brake straight and you roll the car in nice and gently, a little bit off the inside of the corner, right? Because these are Group 4s. We're basically in street cars with minimal downforce. So it's not like you can come in here and stay tight like you're in a Red Bull or something, right? You really want to come out and just roll it in nice and smooth and just make use of the tires, right? And just keep the weight centered so the car doesn't want to fishtail as you're braking into the corner, right? You just keep it steady, nice and smooth. Come in, roll, rotate, and then accelerate out. Right? You want to come to this inside curb in like the middle of the corner, and you want to focus on carrying exit speed. So coming out of here, you should be hitting like 3rd gear as soon as you get on this curb. A little bit before it. So I take my time bringing the car to the inside. Look at the steering too. Centered. Lightly start turning, just gentle, gentle. Okay, we've slowed down, right? Once I slow down, that's when I turn my fucking wheel. I don't do it while we're still coming into the corner hot, right? We're coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot, and we're slowing down and go, right? It's just a smooth, round line. Try not to make it sharp. Right, just nice and smooth. That way I don't fry the right side tires. Yeah. On exit here, you just split this curb, left side tires, outside curb. Okay, over here, you can graze this grass. This stuff is drivable. This right here, drivable. Okay, come back here, you lift, coming into here, and you want to aim the car. Okay, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to exaggerate the fuck out of these corners. What I see people do is I see them come into here, and they try to come in and turn over to the left side of the road late. So instead of keep the weight really, really centered coming up to here, they stay over to the right, and then they turn hard to the left. Right? So their weight's over on the right side of their car more as they come into here. And then they're trying to transfer the weight from the right side of their car to the left side of their car, and then they're trying to turn into here. But because there's so much weight on the right side of the car already, they turn less because they're having to transfer it. Right? So they just understeer and the weight drags them out to the outside. And then they're off rhythm for all these corners. All right, so coming up this hill, I stay to the left as much as possible. And I basically make this like a straightaway right here. right? From this point until I turn to the right, I try to make this a straightaway and cut this left side as much as possible to keep the weight centered, right? This is all just about centering the weight. All I'm thinking about coming into this corner is centering the weight and keeping it under control. Okay, so center the weight, lead it in, lift a little bit, right? Cut the curb, right side tires on the grass, stay to the right. Then I just want to lightly brake and just lead the car in here and just coast and roll in fourth gear as close as I can to those inside curbs, right? These inside bumpy curbs. These will just upset the crap out of the car. If you try to come over these into this corner, it'll just make you understeer. Like, it's even severe with the camera. The camera even knows. It's like, yeah, dude, those are bad. These might as well be like fucking tough blocks. But yeah, you just want to get like your left side tire just to the outside of these, right? Just come in and maybe like try to almost clip this one. So that way as you come out of the corner, you're postured up to the left side, you just dab the brake, roll it in, and use the banking to turn the car. This is all about setup. Okay, so set it up, stay to the right, nice and smooth. Don't force it in with a lot of steering. Or just beat the crap out of the tires. Just take your time. See, like right there, I get right next to that second last curb. Right, I'm not like smashing it. But I'm there. Like, that's how close you can get to it, basically, without it affecting your car. Right? And you just line the car up to come in here straight. See how this guy's pointed to the right, or pointed to the left more? And he's more to the right side of the track? He's going to have less room to turn in and come into the corner. Right? So people have to slow down more because they're tight coming in. And they understeer on exit. So they lose a lot of time. You gain time by staying to the left here and posturing for the corner earlier. Right? It's like the same way if you were to come out of here reversed. Right? See how this is reversed? You come out of here, you use a little bit of this road over here, and you cut this curb. Do you not? So when you go forwards, you do the same shit. You cut this curb over here, and then you use this banking as it comes in. You can just see like the natural banking of the corner, right? And if you come in on the left, it's just, you know what I mean? It looks better. You can just see it. You can see the line with the black marks on the track, and you can see if you're like, okay, if I'm over here and I'm postured up for the corner, yeah, I have a way better fucking apex because, like, look where my car's going to be and look where their cars are. So when we get to here, they're slowing down. I'm already getting on the throttle and hauling ass out of this corner. And then stay wide. You come all the way out to that wall. It's okay to scrape it. Like, if you don't hit this wall hard, you can get away with scraping it. So, like, just come out, and this is your exit line. You just want to come out with your right tires on this inside curb and just, like, flush with the wall without, like, putting yourself into it and scrubbing off a lot of speed. It's okay to, like, tap it. But, like, you stay to the left here, and I even use the grass on exit. Just go straight across here, and I brake in a little bit deep and a little bit wide. So that way when I downshift to second, I can cut the car in a little bit for the exit, and I can start accelerating inside this white line. Right, so I come in third, trail brake nice and easy, and just roll it for a sec, get down to second, right? Start giving it a little bit of gas. And then once you know it's going to turn, just commit to full throttle and just hold it. And then hit third. And then split this white line. And keep your left side tires to the inside of this white line without bringing your right side tires across it. Okay, so stay a little deep. Down to second. Get on it. All right, the only thing you have to worry about is that grass on the inside. The only thing that'll hurt you here is if you don't carry enough speed and you try to cut it too much, and then you get on this inside grass. Because then all of a sudden, you're going to start oversteering like crazy, and you're just going to slide. You just scrub off all your speed. So you have to make sure you still come in here with a little bit of speed so that you don't come too far to the inside, touch this grass, and start oversteering. Okay, and then split this. Right? Just right side tires to the right side of the line, and just follow her down. And this also gives you like more room to exit this corner, right? So you come out of the right-hander, and instead of trying to keep your left side tires to the inside of this line, you just let them come out naturally and then just flow into the next corner. All right, now left side tires, inside curb. Smash that pylon. Every fucking time. Just smash it. It'll be fine. Which then allows us to brake straight. It's like, why would you cut this part of the track and smash this pylon? Because when you look here, we're lining up the car straight to brake in a straight line before we get down the hill. And then because it's down the hill, we're going to get dragged out this fucking way. So we have to brake a little bit longer and keep the car inwards a little bit more until we're sure that we're going to get grip, and then we accelerate. Because it's downhill. Every downhill corner around Nürburgring 24 hour and like the last couple sections of it, what do you have to do? You have to brake early, let the car roll down the hill, and then start accelerating. Correct? Correct. It's the same thing here. Or even cut a little bit of the grass. But when you do it, you don't want the car to slide. You want to keep the car going straight and just keep gently turning it through the corner. So like right here, I'm just gently turning. Right? Gently on the brake. Just using this cheater curb on the inside of the actual curb. Right? And then this just keeps me to the inside. Then when you come out here, all right, you can use this little bit of grass and get on here and brake in a straight line and then kind of like come over to the curb a little bit. But it doesn't really matter. Either way, you just got to make sure that you've slowed the car down by the time you get to like this point in the corner. Like decently, so that way when you trail brake in, you have front tire grip. It's all about front tire grip and just being able to lead the car in and have the car actually react. So that way when you get to this point in the corner, you go full throttle, you're turning like 45 degrees, 50 degrees, whatever. And when you come out to here, it just doesn't understeer. It just accelerates smoothly and the car just naturally meets the corner of this curb. That's what you want for this apex and exit. You want to focus on coming in here, slowing down enough so that the car actually wants to react and turn and veer into the corner with like confidence. That way when you get on the throttle, you already know the car's committed. And it's just hammer down, hold on, and just make sure we hit this with our left tire. And then you can bring that left tire out to the edge of this curb if you want. And then bring it back. And then you split the white line. Almost smashed this yellow wall with the right front of your car. Why? Because it's the shortest distance. If you aren't like right next to this guardrail as you come through here, you're not trying hard enough. I said it. I said it. Now, if you're like 3 feet over here going by this guardrail, yeah, you need to think about carrying some more speed out of here and fucking straight lines. Straight lines. Shortest distance. Just straight lines all day. How can you make it as straight as possible? Find a way. All right, like I'm off the brake before we get to the apex of the corner. Then tight to this guardrail. Tight to this wall. Okay, brake at the 100. A little bit before it. Straight line. Down to second. Down to first. Let the car roll. Right? I'm not flooring it immediately. What people do is they get to this point in the corner, the car is rolling and actually rotating, and their first instinct is just to hurry up and punch it. Just wait like half a second longer before you do that, and you'll actually get a wicked exit, and you won't understeer out into this fucking wall every time. You won't have to lift because you got on the throttle too soon. Like, I almost try to wait as long as I can to actually get on the throttle. I have to force myself to not accelerate and just resist all temptation to get on the throttle. Like, yeah, I want to floor it here and just turn harder, but I can't. I have to let the car keep rotating a little bit more and let the front end come around. All right, let's watch the full lap. See, like, if I go to brake behind him there and I start steering, if you panic and you think you're going to hit the guy in front of you, and you start turning to avoid them, you're securing that you're going to run into this motherfucker and miss his apex and not stop in time. The only thing you can do is just have a set of nuts and brake in a straight line and know that you braked in time way the fuck back here. That's it. Don't start turning. Don't be like, oh no, I'm going to hit him. Let me try and fucking do some shit. No, just stop, brake in a straight line, and don't fucking touch anything. don't touch shit. Don't turn left, don't turn right. Just hold the fucking brake and downshift. Right? If you have to, go to the right and avoid them. But, like, just brake in a fucking straight line. And just trust that the car's actually going to come to a stop. Right? Like, I'm coming up on these guys. But if I start turning, I'm running into them. I see people do it all the time. I just watched the wheel in this view. You can see how much steering input I'm actually giving it. And wet. I'm not scrubbing the tires or trying to force the car. Yeah, this is why you have to slow down in the hairpin so much, because you're going to turn the wheel upside down. The second you go past 90-degree steering, you have to be going slow enough. You have to make sure the front tires are gripping, because if not, it's just going to plow and you're not going to be able to fucking turn. That's the most important part. Is if the G-force is too much on the car and the car hasn't slowed down enough and been going slow enough for long enough, basically. Like, it's one thing to slow down to 60 kilometers an hour. It's one thing to slow down to 60 kilometers an hour and actually have maneuverability. You know what I mean? And that's the important part. Is to make sure that you slow down and have maneuverability on the front tires in order to be able to turn the wheel upside down. And have it grip, and you be able to go full throttle and still grip. It's all about just slowing the car down enough so it doesn't understeer, and resisting turning when you're trying to trail brake at high speeds into corners. If you're trying to trail brake on the edge, coming into a corner, the worst thing you can do is try to stop too or try to turn too early, turn too much too early, while you're still braking and carrying too much speed. Like, if coming off the brakes isn't an option, neither is turning extra, basically. Then as you come off the brakes, you can start turning more. I got a little bit of understeer coming out of there because I had to slow down extra for the guy in front of me. So I didn't really get the trail brake all the way in here, and then I had to start getting on the gas earlier. And I had to lift on exit just to keep it on the road. A little bit of side-by-side action. I go wide. Then gets a little bit of oversteer. More oversteer. Still too wide. You could easily fit a motorcycle in between us half the time. We just give each other so much space. Okay, now notice I brake and hold the inside line. It's like your only objective going into this hairpin should be to slow the car down faster than the other guy. That's it. Slow it down faster, so that way when you get into the middle of the corner, you can pivot and get the fuck out of there. Like if you're doing last to first, or just driving through the pack, slow down early for this corner. Slow down earlier than the guy in front of you. Just a little bit. Give him a little bit of space. That way you can brake in a straight line and then get a better apex and exit than them. Right? See how Dan turns in and I wait a little bit? The guy behind me isn't even ready for me to take this line. He just runs into the back of me. Like, look how I brake coming into here. It's been a little bit longer to get a better exit. Yeah, this was a good race. It's not hard to run too wide around here, as long as people just, you know, respect each other. There's been a lot of people dive bombing already, though. Getting pretty bad. Getting pretty bad. Yeah, like key passing spots are just the end of the main stretch. Here's kind of iffy to pass. Anything around here. If you're going to pass people in this area, just make sure you set up the corner better and you get a better exit. But don't just like drive through them. Like say you come in here and you're staying a little bit to the left because you notice everybody's coming in here super tight. They're just going to understeer. So you try to cut underneath them and then beat them on exit. Don't plow into them right around here and just run them into the wall. Here you can't really pass. Okay, one way you can pass here is if you actually hit this corner right and the guy in front of you just slides through it. Like if you notice somebody's offline and they come through here and they just start sliding, just make sure that you've braked straight and you've led the car in properly. And you'll be able to pass them no problem on the exit. Like by the time you get here, you can just pull up on the inside line. Yeah, you can use a little bit of this grass. But you have to make sure, like, you know what I mean? You're in an all-wheel drive, but you have to do it straight. You can cut grass in these cars, but you have to do it the right way. You can't just, like, turn hard and get on the grass and expect this thing to just go fucking straight and hit the apex properly. You'll just spin and go sideways. I have to straighten my wheel out here as I go on the grass. And drive it straight out of the corner. Just keep the car steady. It's almost like I'm not even driving over grass because the car's so centered. Like it's just so minimal. Once you get off the grass and you're back on the asphalt, it just grips. But it's like those little moments where you could just give it a little bit too much steering input or come in a little bit sloppy. Like that's where my fucking tire went. You can't really tell because it looked like I just took the corner normally, like I was on fucking asphalt. But yeah, that's where my tire went. And you can't fucking tell at all. Yeah, guys. Hopefully that helps for a lap guide.